All right. Woohoo. Go, Steve.
Woo!
Thanks, Gerry, for having me on. I'll talk about COVID a bit. Got these circles we have to stand on 2 meters away from each other. I figure if we start using our hands as well as our feet, we can get a pretty good game of Twister going, eh? That would be really and waiting for the restrictions to be lifted. It's back and forth here. I don't know about where you are, but every day is like analogous to the Chinese water torture. It's like another drop in the head. And so every day is another, drop in the head towards insanity. And we don't know when it's going to end, right? And the masks are like a fashion, right? People come up and, hey, I love your mask. And it's like the new fashion, right? Oh, what a beautiful mask. And talk about fashion a bit. Remember these alligator shirts? Let's go back a few decades. But, there's nothing really that special about them. But if one person wears them, everyone wears them. And the jeans with the holes in them, how many people you see wearing these jeans with the holes in them? It's just crazy. And that's actually a fashion. I can't believe that. But anyway, back to COVID. So Tim Hortons, everything's virtual, like we're in a virtual show right now. Even Tim Hortons, the roll up this year was actually a virtual rolled up. It wasn't actually rolling up the cups. And today is actually the last day of roll it up. If you want to do it, you have to do it today after the show. And I won a reusable cup. And I cashed it in, and as they were giving it to me, there's a sign next to the cashier says, "We are not using reusable cups right now." As they give me the cups, so I guess I'll have to wait to use that one. But I noticed on the Tim Hortons tea menu, I want to talk about this a bit. It says steep tea. Now, I don't know, it might have hit you right away what they meant, but I didn't quite get that. I mean, of course it's steep. And I had to ask. I said, it says steep tea. Of course it's steep, doesn't it? I mean, how else would you prepare tea? Is there a way of preparing tea I don't know about? French press tea or something like that? And she said, well, it's actually to differentiate between steep tea and bag tea. And I said, oh, okay, so you can buy a bag of teas and bring them home and do it yourself at home. And yeah, that's true, but that's actually not what we mean. Okay, what do you mean? Well, if you want one of the herbal teas, we'll take a bag of those, put it in a cup, and add hot water to it for you, and we'll do it like that. And I said, so in other words, you'll steep it. Yeah, that's right. So it's steep tea as opposed to steep tea. Yeah, I guess so. Well, if that's not redundant, I don't know what is. Anyway, so I got a bit of story here. I was walking down the street, and there's this really old guy. He walks towards me. And he was obviously a World War II veteran, like these guys are in their late 90s right now. And he says, hey, Sonny, do you realize that us old people have nothing better to live for than Seniors Day at Denny's? I said, well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Grandpa. He said, well, yeah, but I wonder if you could direct me to the nearest Denny's here. I don't know where it is. And I said, sure. Okay, you go down to the Cash Money here. You take a left. And you go down a few blocks to the Money Mart. And you take a right there, and you go down about 4 or 5 blocks to the Mr. Payday. Take a left, you go down about 4 blocks to the Money Tree, and it's around the corner from there. So, oh, great, thanks a lot, Sonny, but that's kind of sad, isn't it? What's that, Grandpa? Well, every direction you gave me has something to do with the payload place. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the way it is, Grandpa. Every corner today is decorated with the icon of a payload place. It's just the way it is. And he says, do you know it was like that before the war? Before the war, all these payload places came up, the war broke out, and then everything was hunky-dory after that. I said, well, I hope it's not a bad sign of things to come. He said, yeah, I hope not. And so he walked away, and I said, hey, Grandpa, we're talking about payload places. Could you lend me $10? Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I want to talk about natives a bit here. I really respect the natives and their art, like totem poles and murals and carvings, and they always depict great animals like the bear, the eagle, the wolf, the raven, orca, frog. Now you might say, "Oh, frog doesn't really sound like as great an animal as the other ones," but I have seen frogs at the bottom of totem poles as you read them, and I was wondering about, thinking, could that be the French-Canadian version, the Algonquin? We call French frogs because they eat frogs' legs, right? But actually, that's in Europe, and they also eat the escargot, which is snails, and it's analogous to the Japanese that will put anything that swims or basically is in the water on rice and call sushi. So the French have a long way to go to catch up to them putting anything that crawls on a plate and calling it an hors d'oeuvre, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here in Quebec, we invented the poutine in Quebec. It's a Quebec invention. That's what we eat here. And of course, it has French fries with gravy and cheese curds. And some people like it, some people don't. It's sort of one way or the other. And a friend of mine doesn't like it. And I said, "Why don't you like it?" "Well, it's, I don't like the cheese curds." And I said, "Well, you like cheese? What's wrong with that?" "Yeah, I like cheese, but I don't like the word curd. It sounds too much like turd." "Oh, I see. Oh, I see." So I'm wondering how many other people have this psychological problem. Anyway, thanks, Gerry. I'll leave it there.
Woo!